Hey everyone and welcome to another Adobe Illustrator tutorial. In this one I will show you how I created this coupon design in Adobe Illustrator. I actually made this design for another tutorial which was on selection tool, and afterwards I thought why not create a separate tutorial on how I made this one. So let's start by creating a new file. I'm going to go to file menu and click on new, and we will get this new window. Here I'm going to select 560 by 960 pixel web. And if you don't find it here, it is in my recent. If you don't find it here, you can always go to web and click on this view all preset button and you will find it here. The reason behind this size is nothing, it's nothing special. And if you want to design a coupon for print, you need to figure out the size first and maybe go for print category. But I'm just designing it casually just for the tutorial sake. So I'm happy with this dimension. Click on create because every other settings are looking just fine. Click on create and you will get this blank canvas. Now before we start creating the design, I would like to be you on same page as me. So I would suggest you to go to window and workspace and click on this essential one. I am using the essential workspace, and if you have selected essential already and it's not looking the same, you can reset the essentials. And again, if you are using any other workspace and if you are familiar with it, comfortable with it, then you can go ahead with this. Alright. So let's start by creating a new rectangle. So I'm going to go to toolbar and select this rectangle tool from here. Click and drag on the canvas to create a simple rectangle. Go to transform and change its size to 400 for width, and for height I'm going to put the value of 200 maybe. Let's align it to center. I'm going to select my selection tool, create another copy of this. So if I press Alt and drag, it will create a copy, and if I press shift simultaneously, it will create a copy and lock the axis. So I'm gonna change its width to maybe 100 pixel. Let's move it back and stick it with this first rectangle. Select both of them and change the stroke to middle, cap rounded, corner rounded, and align stroke will be the center. Now I'm gonna select this one and press shift and right arrow key from my keyboard, left arrow key from my keyboard to move it once and twice, which will 20 pixel. So I need to create some gap between them, that's why I moved it 10-20 pixel. Now select both of them and move it to the center a little. Now let's create the circular cut part here, and for that go to your rectangle tool and click on it once and you will get this other option. So let's select ellipse tool and click and drag to create a circle. If you want to create a perfect circle, you can press shift and drag, and if you press alt and shift together, it will create a perfect circle and scale it from both sides. I'm gonna change its value to 100. Let's lock this button and put the value of 100 and move it to the center of this rectangle. It's looking fine. Let's zoom in, press alt and use scroll from your mouse to zoom in. I'm going to press shift and move it here till this edge touches the center line. Now I'm going to press shift and right arrow key 3 times to move it, and we can create another copy of this circle for this second rectangle. Select both of them and you can see that circle is on the top. You can go to Pathfinder and use this subtract or minus option, and it will subtract the top part from the bottom. So and you will get this hollow part. Alright, now let's move this one here. Press shift and right arrow key thrice to move it. Select both of them and use minus. The coupon shape is ready, the basic shape is ready actually, and now we can add some text. For that, go to toolbar and use this T, which is type tool, and click on the canvas and let's type 50% off in all caps, and go back to selection tool and change the font to Babus New. So I'm gonna use this font. You can select any other font if you like. Let's increase its size to maybe 72 and move it here. Create another copy pressing alt, and this time I'm going to type order now again in all caps, and I'm going to reduce the size. So I can use this tiny box to reduce its size. Just press shift to make it proportionate, and I want to be as the same size of this 50% off. But before that, I'm going to convert this text to outline. Most of the time I convert my text to outline after I finalize what I have to write, because it will remove this unnecessary white space which text box makes. So I'm gonna click on this quick action, go to quick action and click on this create outline button, and it will convert them in outline, and you can see all the extra white space we got rid of this. Same, I'm going to use order now and click on this, and you can see we got rid of this all white space. Alright, now select this 50% off, and for width value let's put the exact value of 180 pixel, and for order now also 180. Actually I'm going to add a rectangle behind order now, so why not draw it right away. So click and draw a rectangle, same size again 180, and for height let's move it to beside this order now and create a height which is little longer than order now, so maybe 50 will work. And let's make order now white, so go to fill and click on it, and if it's behind you can always right click on it and go to arrange and bring it to front. Align them to center and middle, select both of them and align them to center and middle. Now we need to reduce the size of order now, so click on this tiny square and press Alt and Shift and scale it down from all the sides. Okay, this is looking much better, I guess. Scale it down a little further, and let's make this box rounded. So if you select the box, you can see these tiny circles. If you click and drag, it will make them rounded all the way. Again, we need to reduce the size a little bit, and now you can zoom out and click on this, select both of them together and create a group, and align these two objects together, the group and the other object, which is 50% off. I would like to add the website name also, so again go to type tool and let's type. I'm gonna undo it actually and reduce the size to maybe 10 pixel. Let's see how it works out. Put the website name, which will be www.orderpizza.com, just a random name, and let's move it here. We can actually reduce the website size, the font size, because website and address are most of the time are in small sizes, so it doesn't really matter. Select all three objects or deselect this one, so press shift and click on it, so it will get deselected, and align them, all of them in center. Now to fill this white space, I'm going to create some simple lines. So use pen tool, go to toolbar, click on this pen tool, and if you see this cross here, that means your caps lock is on. So from keyboard, turn your caps lock off, and you can see the pen tool now. So if you come over here, you can see that this magenta lines will help you to snap, and it will act you as a temporary guide. So if you click here once, it will create one anchor point, and if you press shift, it will create a straight line. So I will end it here, click on it, and it will create a line. Press escape from keyboard to escape the selection obviously, and change the stroke value to 1, and stroke cap rounded, corner rounded, align stroke center is fine, and press shift and select this one also. Now they are both selected, and use align middle, so they are aligned properly. Create another copy of this using alt and shift, and again magenta lines are helping you. Select all three objects, create a group, and I'm going to stick it to the bottom of this, and 50% off I'm going to stick it to the top. Now I'm going to use arrow key from my keyboard to move it 1 2 3 4 5 times, and similarly 1 2 3 4 5 times. Okay, so they are proportionate and looking aesthetically strong, I guess. And select all three of them, deselect this one and move it to the center for now. Let's add some detail to this rectangle. So if you select direct selection tool, you can see these rounded corners, and this time we need to select them manually because there are different shape here, so we cannot just click and drag only one circle. It won't work here. Actually it's working, but you know what, I would like to add a precise radius value. So I'm gonna select first one, press shift and select all these points. You just have to press shift while you select all of them, double click on it, put the value of 5 pixel in radius, and they are rounded. Do the same for this one, direct selection tool. By the way, the shortcut hotkey for direct selection tool is A, and for selection tool is V. Okay, so you can go back and forth with that. Put the value of 5 pixel, and they are looking fine. Another detail I would like to add, so select this small rectangle. You can go to object and path, offset path. So it will offset the path by 10 pixel, minus 10 pixel. Right now the value is minus 10 pixel. If you put the value of 10 pixel, it will add a path outwards and create a copy. If you put the value of minus 10 pixel, it will create the path inwards. But we got rid of this rounded corner, so I don't know if there is any option of it. I'm gonna research it after that, but let's do it manually right now and create another copy of this. So go to path, offset path, and minus 10. Select all these points. Oh, something went wrong. I don't know why can't I see them properly. Yeah, I can see them now. Small glitches, sometimes it happens. Double click on them and put the value of 5 pixel, and they are pretty much rounded. Select all both of them, sorry, and go to stroke and make them dashed line, and make sure that dash value is 2 point, which will add a little detail to it. Now I would like to add some color, so let's select this rectangle and go to fill and change its color to orange. But first I'm going to select all this and make their fill disable, and for this color I'm gonna edit it. So go back to fill and go to color mixer now, and let's tweak some colors. So for red I'm gonna go to orange side a little more, and let's tweak the blue. So go to the orangish side. It's looking much better. Let's tweak the green. Now it's looking more poppy. Select this text and make it white. Order now, let's make it white and sorry, ungroup it first. Let's make this box rectangle white, and order now orange. Ungroup them and make this text white and stroke white. Now they're looking much better. Let's create the pizza now. I think we can create the pizza now. It's time. So for pizza you have to just create some circle. Go to rectangle tool, click and hold to open these other options. Click on this ellipse tool and draw a ellipse, pressing shift, so it will create a perfect circle. I'm going to reverse its fill and stroke, so the base will be white and outline is fine. Actually I'm going to increase the outline to 2. Similarly I'm going to increase the outline for this outer rectangle to 2 point. So they will look bold and it will make the contrast, and change its value to 150. Lock this button first, so it will change the value for width and height together, and make sure that it is aligned in the center of this. So to do that, first you have to select the circle, and if you press shift you can align it, but you can see that your rectangle also moved, so we don't want that. Press Ctrl Z, select your circle first and press shift to select the rectangle. Now if you press alt and click on this rectangle, it will make it key object, so it won't move, only circle will align to this. So if I press this one, middle one, the circle will be in the middle of this rectangle. Alright, gonna create one more copy of this. So press Ctrl C and Ctrl Shift V to create a copy on exact same place. Alright, and let's reduce its size to 130 pixel. So the outer circle will act like a crust, pizza crust, and the inner one will be the main part. And to create the slices, I'm gonna use pen tool again. So click here to create first anchor point, press shift to create a straight line, and end your second anchor point here. Now press escape to exit the selection. Again create copy at the same place, so Ctrl C and Ctrl Shift V. Now if you come over here, you will see this double-sided arrow which is little rounded. That means it is for rotation. So if you press shift and drag, it will rotate it to 45 degree. If you don't press shift, it will move it free form, but if you press shift, it will lock its rotation to 45 degree. So it's quite handy. Create another copy of this and rotate it. Create another copy and rotate it. So we have separated the slices also. Now let's add toppings. So for toppings also I'm going to use circles. So create a small circle, make it exact if you want, but random will be also fine, doesn't really matter. Change this one to 5 pixels, some small toppings, some big toppings. I'm gonna select eyedropper tool and pick this orange color. Okay, so the color will be orange for toppings. Let's create some copies and move it here and change their position, make it a little random, don't make it obvious. Create another copy and maybe 2 tiny one this time. Create another copy of this, 3 toppings on this slice, lucky slice. Create another copy and move it here, make it uneven. I'm going to create 2 copy of this because I would like to separate a slice from this pizza so it will look more natural. So select these 2 circles and create a copy of this using Alt, and this time what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a single slice from here. So if you see this tiny circle, this is a pi angle, and if you click and drag, it will create a pi angle and you can create the slice easily. You can see the end angle, which is 45 approx. It's not exact. If you want to make it exact, you can always go to transform and more option, and you can see the pi angle here. Right now it's 45.0.05. You can put the exact value of 45. Select this one and go directly here and put the value of 45. And from here we need to remove this slice, so we can go here and this time on this opposite side put the value of 45, so it will get rid of this slice from here. Select this slice and move it here a little outside. Move this top in here and this one here. So the pizza is also ready. I'm gonna select all of them to create a group. So marquee select, and if you select something else accidentally, you can always deselect them pressing shift, and we got them deselected, I hope. Yeah, you can create a group and it is already in center. I'm going to select all these parts, objects, and press shift and alt to scale them down a little bit and create a group. Make sure that they are in center. They were not in center, so it's always good to double check. I'm going to move this one here till it touches the border line, and now I'm going to press shift and left arrow key to move it 10 pixels inside. Similarly, I'm going to move this one till it touches this line, press shift and right arrow key to move it inside. So they will look more aesthetically strong, and yeah, they are looking more proportionate. Now there is one more final detail. I would like to add a text here, a coupon code. So again, go to type tool and let's type coupon code foodie 50. This is the coupon code. So if you put the foodie 50 code next time, you will get 50% off. All right, let's add a small background to it. So why not create a simple rectangle, change its color to orange and move it back. So right click, arrange, send it back, change its color to white to make it a little more pop, and put exact value, so maybe 90, and for height, I don't know, 12. 90 is too much actually, so 80 or maybe 75. Select both of them and use center and middle align and make them rounded. Create a group and move it here. Let's rotate it 90 degree. You can always come to transform and put the value of 90 degree. If you know the exact value of rotation, you can always come to transform and put the value easily instead of just doing it using the bounding box. Click and drag from both sides to scale it up. It's looking too small now. Actually, I need to ungroup it and make them rounded again. Yeah, they're looking much better. Create a group and make sure that it is in the middle. Move it here and move 10 pixels inside. And the coupon code is also ready. We can move this one to the top, 1 2 3 4, and I don't know, because they are looking too compact. 1 2 3 4. Now they are looking much better. You can always tweak them. Yeah, there is another detail I would like to add. I would like to add a dash line here for perforation. This is just for look. We are not going to print it, but again it should look much better. So dash line 2 point, that's fine. And height will be the same as this rectangle, so height of this rectangle is 180. I'm going to put the value of 180. It's already 180. And make sure that it is in the middle. Always check alignment if you are designing something, because alignment makes a big difference. You won't even realize it how big difference it can make to your designs. And this is it for this one. I hope you learned something new from it, and if you like the video, consider subscribing and like my video, and I will see you soon in the next one. Thanks for watching.